Enter the Gungeon, one of the best roguelites out on the market even though it was released 8 years ago. It is one of the most fun games I've ever played, and also one of the most difficult and challenging, as to be expected, of a game in the roguelike genre. This game doesn't mess around. This game is so simple that it'll have you questioning if video games are the right thing to choose for relaxing after a hard day's work when you die. And trust me, you will die. This game will kill you. Every single time you walk back into the Gungeon, you will question if this is really what you want to do with your life, and then you'll proceed to keep playing it for the next 5 hours. And every single time you restart, that thought will ring through your head like the church's bell. Many sleepless nights will be had, much schizophrenia will be endured as you hear the noise. And hey, if you enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe. Welcome to your first place of residence, where the rent is cheap and the liability risk is high, the Breach. The main hub of Enter the Gungeon, where all the NPCs you find and save down in the Gungeon will call home to Recluse. Other parts of importance include all your upgrade shops, including Ox and Cadence, which will open up a shop that allows you to spend your dollar dues you get from bosses to unlock equipment and weapons done in the Gungeon. Similar sort of the other merchants in the Breach, there's Professor Gupton, which sells liquid-based items and guns. There's Tarok, he sells military gear equipment, and also there's Doug. He'll pop in time to time, and he'll just really get mixed to what he chooses to sell you. There's some other side NPCs you can find here in the Breach. These two blokes will give you a quest to kill a certain amount of an enemy, and they'll give you currency in exchange. These fellows here you'll be able to find in the Gungeon. The king will challenge you to a wager completing a certain room that's marked on the map with certain conditions. Once completed, you'll be able to return to him and collect your prize. There's also the Tinker. They'll join the Breach after completing the first floor and will allow you to unlock shortcuts to a floor after you gather all the requested materials. And there are some extra ones you can find that I'll explain later. Now you might be saying this. If this game makes you question your life choices, why is it so good? Why are you glazing this? Let me inform you. The serotonin in this game emits from killing a boss, perfecting a boss, dodging at the perfect time, can make an old man with ED get as bricked up as he was 40 years ago in his prime. The gameplay for Enter the Gungeon is very simple. First, you have to enter the Gungeon, and I know, holy shit, no way. You'll then spawn into the starting room with whichever of the starting Gungeoneers you chose, with all the respective upsides and downsides. The best one is the bitch with the dog. Can't help the facts speak for themselves because the dog has a chance to give an extra item per room. You'll then head into any room with a question mark, clear the room, hope you get something, a key perhaps. You'll repeat until you find either the boss door, a chest, or the shop. If you find the boss door and don't think you're well equipped, leave and go a different direction. If you run into a chest, you will have a chance of getting a piece of equipment or a weapon. Some minor things to remember is that the brown chest has a chance of giving consumables, like a heart, a key, ammo replenishment, what have you. And the blue chests have a higher chance of giving equipment than any other chest. They all come in different rarities, with brown being the worst and black being the best. I don't include the rainbow chest because it has about a 1 in 7,000 chance of spawning per chest you find, so you most likely will never see it. There are a few other secret chests that I didn't mention, but those are very particular for when they spawn, so I'll let you figure them out. Moving on to our next point of interest, welcome to the shop, where you'll be greeted by a big burly fellow who will insult you to build your tolerance to enemy damage. Here you'll be able to buy an assortment of items ranging from weapons, equipment, and consumables. You'll also be able to find other merchants who will offer you other choices of equipment and weapons. As soon as you're done getting ready, teleport back to the boss door, walk in, put up your best fight, and die, and then do it all over again. And while you're walking back, ponder if what you're doing is worth it. And then continue on because your gut tells you that you can make it, and then die, and repeat for the next few hours until you finally make it past the first boss. Very simple game. But if your soul ever leaves your body while you're playing the game, and you defeated the High Dragon at least once, you will find NPCs in the Breach that will allow you to add modifiers to your runs. To unlock these NPCs, you'll have to go back into the Gungeon and find special key doors and unlock them using cell keys you can find on that floor. You have the Sorceress, which if you spend 6 of your doubloons you got from killing bosses, she can bless your next run, which will cause your guns to randomly change after dealing a certain amount of damage, killing 5 enemies, or running out of ammo in your mag. You can also find the Dice Man that will make each room in the Gungeon have different modifiers that will make things a bit trickier. From each time you dodge, the game gets faster, to each time you reload, a pool of fire will spawn at your feet. You can also find a big bear boy called Tonic. He makes the game turbo, which makes the game faster. Then there's Bowler. What he does is make it so the only chest you get is a rainbow chest at the beginning of each floor. All the other chests are inaccessible, and the rainbow chest will dispense 8 different items and guns, and you can only choose one out of the chest. There's also plenty of secret floors to discover, like the oubliette, which access via the first floor by bringing a water barrel to this fireplace room and using it to put out the fire. It can also be extinguished via a water-based weapon and using 2 keys to open it. Inside the oubliette, you will not only find a boss, but you will also find something called the Old Crest, which is used to access another of the secret areas, Abbey of the True Gun. To access this, you will need to bring in the Old Crest that you got from the oubliette to the next floor without taking any damage, then bring it to this area. There's a few other ones like the RNG department, Resourceful Rat's Lair, and Bullet Hell, with each having their own way of getting to them. For example, RNG department is accessed by finding the cell creep and dropping a master round and 2 of either guns, items, or even junk that you get from destroying the chest, and then he'll open up the way. Resourceful Rat's Lair is a bit trickier and requires more steps to access it. It requires a nod key which can only be obtained from the 2nd floor after you've brought the prime primer to the blacksmith on the 5th floor. It starts at 1,000 coins, but you'll be able to make payments on it over the course of multiple runs. And to access the Rat's Lair, you'll also need at least 1 blank and 1 armor and 1 key to be able to even access the entrance to the Rat's Lair. But we'll worry about finding the entrance to the entrance first. To get to the entrance of the entrance, you have to go to the 3rd floor and find a room with a bunch of rats. There you'll find a place where you kick up more dust than usual, keep walking on it, and eventually you'll find a trap door. Open it with your key, and welcome to the entrance to the Rat's Lair. You'll want to hop into the minecart when you fall and ride it all the way to the left. Afterwards, you're going to want to use your blank to destroy the wall and reveal a secret passageway. Roll into there, and keep going until you'll find the entrance to the Rat's Lair. The secret floor Bullet Hell is pretty simply, albeit time consuming, accessed by completing all the Tinker shortcut requests. There's plenty more for you to find at Enter the Gungeon that I didn't mention if you want to find it on your own time. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Anyway, I'm going to take a nap. See ya.